And then from my pocket I took the apple of life. Everything in the room, even the sunlight, looked faded and dingy. The brightness of the apple threw strange lights on the ceiling. Nothing else was worth looking at. You couldn't look at anything else. And the smell of the apple was as if a window in the room had opened onto another world.
Aslan is on the move. Perhaps has already landed.
Now a very curious thing happened. At the name of Aslan, each one of the children felt something jump inside them. Edmund felt a sensation of mysterious horror. Peter felt suddenly brave and adventurous. Susan felt as if beautiful music had just floated by her. And Lucy got the feeling you have when you wake up and realize it's the beginning of the holidays.
Don't you worry about Aslan. He'll put all to right. As it says in the old rhyme in these parts. Wrong will be right when Aslan comes in sight. At the sound of his roar, sorrows will be no more. When he bares his teeth, winter meets its death. And when he shakes his mane, we shall have spring again.
If there's anyone who can appear before Aslan without their knees knocking, well, they're either braver than most or else just silly.
Then he isn't safe.
Safe? Don't you hear what Mrs. Beaver tells you? Who said anything about safe? Of course he isn't safe. But he's good. He's the king, I tell you.
Lucy, the stone table. It's broken in two. Cracked from end to end. Oh, no. Aslan's gone. Come on. How could they? They might have left the body alone. Who's done it? What does it mean? Is it magic?
Yes, it is more magic.
There, shining in the sunrise, larger than they'd seen him before, shaking his mane, which had apparently grown again, stood Aslan himself.
Oh, Aslan! Aslan! Aren't you dead then, dear Aslan?
Not now.
Oh, you're real! You're real! Oh, Aslan!
But what does it all mean?
It means that though the witch knew the deep magic, there is a magic deeper still which she did not know. Her knowledge goes back only to the dawn of time, but if she could have looked back into the stillness and the darkness before time dawned, she would have read there a different incantation. She would have known that when a willing victim who has committed no treason was killed in a traitor's place, the table would crack and death itself would start working backwards.
And now, I wish to ask why you do not yet look as happy as I mean you to be.
We're so afraid of being sent away, Aslan. And you've sent us back into our own world so often.
No fear of that. Have you not guessed? There was a real railway accident. Your father and mother, and all of you, are, as you used to call it in the Shadowlands, dead. The term is over. The holidays have begun. The dream is ended. This is the morning.
As he spoke, he no longer looked to them like a lion. But the things that began to happen after that were so great and beautiful that I cannot write them. And for us, this is the end of all the stories, and we can most truly say that they all lived happily ever after. But for them, for Peter, Edmund, Lucy, Jill, Eustace, and the others, it was only the beginning of the real story. All their life in this world and all their adventures in Narnia had only been the cover and the title page. Now, at last, they were beginning chapter 1 of the great story, which no one on earth has read, which goes on forever, in which every chapter is better than the one before.